He walked away from a high-paying Wall Street job to sell books from his garage, a move everyone thought was crazy. This is the story of how that crazy idea became the global empire of Amazon. Subscribe and turn on notifications to discover his secrets to success. Today, we are going to dive into the extraordinary story of Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon and one of the most influential people of our time. But before we begin, I want to tell you that this story is not just about Jeff Bezos. It is also an excellent way for you to practice your English listening and to learn some new vocabulary words. Please stay with me, and by the end of this story, you will not only know about his incredible life, but you will also feel more confident in your English. Now let's start from the very beginning of his life. Part 1. The early life of Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos was born on January 12, 1964, in a city called Albuquerque, New Mexico, in the United States. His full name when he was born was Jeffrey Preston Jorgensen. Yes, that's right. His name was not always Bezos, and we will learn why in just a moment. Jeff's mother, Jacqueline Gise Jorgensen, was only 17 years old when she had him. She was still a student in high school, which made things very, very challenging for her. Can you imagine being so young and already having a baby to take care of? It must have been so difficult. But Jacqueline was a strong person, and she was determined to give her son a good, bright future. Now Jeff's biological father, Ted Jorgensen, was not a very responsible man. Sadly, he struggled with alcohol problems and was not very involved in little Jeff's life. So Jacqueline made a brave decision. She decided to leave Ted when Jeff was just a baby. She knew in her heart that she had to create a better, safer environment for her son. A few years later, something wonderful happened. Jacqueline married a Cuban immigrant named Miguel, or Mike Bezos. Mike was a kind and hard-working man, and he treated Jeff just like his own son. He loved him very much. He officially adopted Jeff, and that is when Jeff's last name changed from Jorgensen to Bezos. Mike Bezos played a very important role in Jeff's life. He was a good father and a strong role model. He worked as an engineer at Exxon, which is a very big oil company, and he taught Jeff about the value of hard work and perseverance. That word perseverance means to keep trying even when things are very difficult. From a very young age, Jeff Bezos was a curious boy. He always wanted to know how things worked. He loved to tinker, which means to try and fix or build small things. For example, when he was just a toddler, a very small child, he tried to dismantle his own crib with a screwdriver. Do you know why? Because he wanted to sleep in a real bed. Can you imagine a small child trying to take apart his own bed? That shows you just how curious and clever he was. As he grew older, Jeff spent a lot of his time with his grandfather, Lawrence Preston Geese, on his big ranch in Texas. His grandfather was a retired nuclear physicist, a very smart man, and he taught Jeff many valuable lessons about life. On the ranch, Jeff learned how to fix tractors, how to repair machines, and how to solve problems in creative ways. These experiences on the farm helped him develop a love for technology and for innovation for making new things. Jeff was also a brilliant student in school. He was always curious, and he loved to read books about science, about space, and about technology. His teachers often noticed how focused he was and how determined he was to learn. There is another interesting story from Jeff's childhood that shows his creative mind. He actually set up an alarm system in his room to keep his brothers and sisters out. Yes, he created his own homemade security system when he was just a kid. This really shows how resourceful and creative he was even at such a young age. By the time he was in high school, Jeff had a very clear dream. He wanted to become an entrepreneur, someone who starts their own business, and he wanted to create something truly extraordinary. He once told his friends that his dream was to build a company that would one day allow humans to live in space. When Jeff was in high school, his family moved to Miami in Florida. There, he attended Miami Palmetto Senior High School. He continued to be an excellent student, and he eventually became the valedictorian of his class. The valedictorian is the top student, the #1 student in the entire school. During his graduation speech, Jeff spoke about his dream for the future. He said he wanted to help humanity by expanding our civilization into space. This speech shows just how ambitious he was even as a teenager. While other kids were thinking about which college to go to, Jeff was already imagining a future where humans could live far beyond the Earth. Part 2. Jeff Bezos' college years and the start of his big dream. After graduating from high school as the top student, Jeff Bezos had already shown everyone that he was different from many of his friends, while others might have been thinking about the usual path. Go to college, get a regular job. Jeff had much bigger dreams. He truly wanted to change the world, and his journey to make that happen really began in college. Jeff Bezos went to study at one of the best universities in the United States, Princeton University, which is located in New Jersey. At Princeton, Jeff decided to major in electrical engineering and computer science. These subjects were very important for the future he was imagining. You see, he didn't just want to work with computers. He wanted to use technology to change the world in a big way. In college, Jeff's interest in computers grew even stronger. He spent a lot of his free time learning how they worked and exploring the future of technology. His love for building and creating things continued, and he worked very hard to become one of the best students in his field. At Princeton, Jeff was known for his amazing work ethic. This means he worked very, very hard. He was serious about his studies and often stayed up late at night reading books and solving complicated problems. He also joined the Princeton University Computer Science Club and spent time with professors who shared his deep interest in technology. But what really made Jeff stand out from the other students was his focus. While other students might have been distracted by social events or parties, Jeff stayed focused on his dream. His dream was to use technology to solve big, important problems. He wanted to be someone who could make a real positive impact on the world. After graduating from Princeton in 1986, Jeff Bezos had many opportunities to work for big companies. He was a top student from a top university after all. He started his career at a company called Fitel, where he worked on building technology for fiber optics. Fiber optics is a special kind of technology that is used to send information over long distances using light. This technology is very important for the Internet, and Jeff quickly realized just how powerful the Internet could be. After Fitel, Jeff worked at a financial company called Bankers Trust, and then he moved to another company called D.E. Shaw & Co. At D.E. Shaw, Jeff worked as a financial analyst. This is someone who studies and makes important decisions about money. It was a high-paying job, and many people would have been very happy with it. But for Jeff, something felt like it was missing. He wasn't truly happy just making money for someone else. He wanted to build something himself, something that would change the world. Then, one day, in 1994, Jeff had an idea that would change his life forever. He was reading an article about the incredible rise of the Internet. Remember, back then, the Internet was still very new, and only a few people understood how big it would become. Jeff saw that the Internet could be used to sell things directly to people, and he came up with an idea. He decided to start an online bookstore. But he didn't want it to be just any bookstore. He wanted it to be the largest bookstore in the entire world. At that time, there were only a few online businesses, and they were all very small. But Jeff believed that with the power of the Internet, he could reach millions of people and sell books to anyone, anywhere in the world. This idea was revolutionary. It completely changed the way people thought about business. So in 1994, Jeff Bezos made a huge decision. He left his well-paying job at D.E. Shaw and moved across the country to Seattle, Washington, to start his company. He and his wife at the time, Mackenzie Scott, worked together to turn their big idea into a reality. They started their company Amazon in their garage. Jeff's parents helped him with some money, even though they didn't fully understand the huge risks he was taking. Jeff didn't have much money to start the company, but he was incredibly determined. He did not give up. He worked day and night in that small garage to create a website where people could order books online. It wasn't easy at all, and there were many challenges along the way. But Jeff believed in his vision, and he kept working hard toward his goal. The first version of Amazon was very simple. It only sold books. But Jeff always wanted to do more. He saw Amazon as a company that could one day sell everything. It wasn't just a bookstore in his mind. It was a marketplace for anything and everything you could ever want to buy. As Amazon started to grow, Jeff faced many challenges. In the early days, it was very hard to convince people to buy books online. Most people were used to going to physical stores, and they didn't really trust buying things over the internet. But Jeff was patient. He believed that over time, people would learn to trust the internet more and more. Amazon grew very quickly. In the beginning, it was just Jeff, his wife, and a few employees working out of their garage. But soon, the company expanded and more people joined the team. They all worked long hours to make Amazon better, to improve the website, to offer fast shipping, and to expand the range of products they sold. Soon, Amazon started selling electronics, toys, clothes, and so much more. In 1997, Amazon became a public company. This meant that anyone could buy shares of Amazon stock and become a small part of its growth. This was a huge step for Jeff and his company. However, Amazon was not yet making a profit. A profit is the money a company makes after it pays all its costs. In fact, the company lost money for several years. But Jeff didn't mind. He believed that in the long run, Amazon would become very successful. By the year 2000, Amazon had become the biggest online retailer in the world. People all around the globe started to recognize the company, and Jeff's vision was finally becoming a reality. He had taken a huge risk. He had left his safe job and started a business from scratch in his garage. But his belief in technology and his passion for solving problems had led him to build something that was truly changing the world. Part 3. The Rise of Amazon. On challenges, growth, and breakthrough moments. As we continue the story of Jeff Bezos and Amazon, it is important to understand that the company's journey was not always easy. Far from it. Many people did not believe that an online store could work at first. But Jeff's clear vision, his hard work, and his willingness to take big risks turned Amazon into one of the most successful companies in the world. Let's dive a little deeper into Amazon's early years and the key moments that led to its breakthrough. When Jeff Bezos first started Amazon, it was not the giant company that we know today. In fact, it was just a small business running out of the garage of his home in Seattle. Starting a business was not easy. Most people didn't really understand the internet back then. For many people, it was new and a little confusing. So convincing customers to trust Amazon with their money was a big challenge. Imagine trying to buy something online in the 1990s when almost no one had done it before. There were also many technical challenges like building a website that could handle many customers at once and most importantly keep their personal information safe. But Jeff had a plan. He knew that trust was the most important thing. He focused on making Amazon a reliable and safe place to shop. He made sure that the website worked smoothly that the products were delivered on time, and that customers always had a positive experience. Even if things went wrong, Jeff and his team always found a way to fix them quickly. This deep focus on customer satisfaction became one of Amazon's most important values. As Amazon started to grow, Jeff Bezos wanted to make it more than just an online bookstore. He had a much bigger vision for his company. He wanted Amazon to be the place where people could buy anything they needed, not just books. So in 1998, Amazon started selling CDs, electronics, and toys. This was a huge step because it meant Amazon was no longer just about books. It was becoming a full online marketplace. To expand so quickly, Amazon needed to improve in many areas, especially in shipping. Jeff knew that customers wanted to get their products fast. He wanted Amazon to be known for its fast delivery, so he started working with different shipping companies to make sure customers got their orders as quickly as possible. At the same time, Amazon was making new deals with other companies to sell even more products. By 1999, Amazon's website had grown to offer millions of different items, making it a huge online shopping platform. Jeff's idea of having everything in one place was starting to become a reality. Now, while things were looking very good for Amazon, the journey was not all smooth sailing. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, there was something called the dot-com bubble. This was a time when many new internet companies were starting, but most of them did not have strong business plans. The stock market became overheated, and then people started to lose confidence in online companies. The bubble burst. For Amazon, this was a very tough time. Many investors, the people who put money into companies, began to doubt Amazon's future. The company was still losing money instead of making it. Jeff had to face the hard reality that his company was not making a profit, even though it was growing very quickly. Many people started to wonder if Amazon would survive the dot-com crash. Some people in the news even predicted that the company would fail. But Jeff Bezos did not give up. He knew that Amazon was doing the right thing even if it didn't show immediate profits. He believed that by focusing on his long-term goals, Amazon would eventually become profitable. In the early 2000s, Jeff realized that Amazon needed to change its approach if it wanted to survive and thrive. He began focusing on building the company's infrastructure. Infrastructure means the basic systems and services that are needed to make things work. He wanted to build systems that would support Amazon for many years to come. One of the key changes was Amazon's focus on building its own shipping system. Jeff didn't want to rely on outside shipping companies anymore. He started to build Amazon's own warehouses and its own delivery systems. This was a huge and expensive project, but it allowed Amazon to control how quickly products were shipped and how much it would cost. Around this same time, Amazon also began a new business model. It started offering third-party sellers the chance to sell their products on Amazon's website. This was a brilliant move. It turned Amazon into a true marketplace, not just a store. Now anyone from a small business to a large company could sell their products on Amazon, and Amazon would take a small fee from each sale. This was another way to grow the company without taking all of the financial risks. This was a game changer for Amazon. By 2003, Amazon had completely transformed its business model. It was no longer just a store. It was a huge online marketplace where people could buy, sell, and ship products from all over the world. And this new model allowed Amazon to grow even faster than before. As Amazon grew, Jeff Bezos knew that offering more services would keep customers happy and loyal. One of the most powerful ideas Jeff had was the creation of Amazon Prime. In 2005, Amazon introduced Prime, a special membership service. Customers paid a yearly fee to get free 2-day shipping on all their orders. Free 2-day shipping, is that possible? People wondered. This was another game-changing idea. It made customers much more likely to buy from Amazon because they knew they would get their products quickly and without paying extra shipping fees. In the early days, not everyone believed that people would pay for a fast shipping membership. But Amazon Prime was a huge success. By 2010, millions of people had already signed up for Prime. It became one of the most popular membership programs in the world, and it gave Amazon a huge advantage over its competitors. With Prime becoming so successful, Jeff Bezos looked for new ways to grow Amazon even more. Over the years, Amazon began to expand into completely new areas. In 2006, Amazon launched Amazon Web Services, or AWS. This is a cloud computing service that allows other companies to store their data on Amazon servers. AWS became one of Amazon's biggest moneymakers and is still one of a leader in cloud services today. In 2007, Amazon launched the Kindle, an e-reader that made reading digital books easy and comfortable. This was another big step for Amazon as it allowed the company to enter the growing e-book market. Jeff also wanted to change the way people shop for food. Amazon began experimenting with grocery delivery services through Amazon Fresh, which has become more and more popular in recent years. To grow even more, Amazon also started buying other companies. For example, it bought the popular grocery store Whole Foods in 2017. This helped bring its products into physical stores and improve its grocery business. After years and years of putting all the money back into the business, Amazon finally started making consistent profits. In 2003, Amazon had its first profitable year, and from that point on, the company continued to grow at an incredible rate. It became one of the most valuable companies in the world, and Jeff Bezos became the richest man on the planet. Part 4. Jeff Bezos' leadership and innovative ideas. Jeff Bezos is known not only for building Amazon into the world's largest online retailer, but also for his very unique style of leadership. He was always focused on the long-term future and on making customers happy. His goal was not just to make money today, but to change the way people lived their lives tomorrow. One of the first things people notice about Jeff's way of thinking is that he thinks big. He doesn't just look at today or next week. He thinks about how things will look in 10 or even 20 years from now. This is why Amazon is so different from many other companies. Jeff was never afraid to take big risks, even if those risks seemed impossible to other people at the time. For example, when many people doubted that online shopping would ever be popular, Jeff stuck to his belief that the internet would change everything. This long-term thinking was key. Jeff once said, "If we think long-term, we can make better decisions." While many companies were focused on making money quickly, Jeff knew that real success in business took time. And that's why Amazon made so many decisions that seemed risky at the time, because he was building for the future. He also had a customer-centric approach. This means the customer was always at the center of every decision. Jeff always made the customer experience the most important part of Amazon's mission. He would often say that Amazon's success depended on trust. The trust that products would arrive on time, the trust that the prices would be fair, and the trust that Amazon would always find new ways to improve its service for you, the customer. Jeff was also very passionate about making sure Amazon always acted like a startup company, even when it became one of the biggest companies in the world. He called this way of thinking the Day One mentality. This meant that no matter how big and successful Amazon got, it should never get lazy or stop trying to improve. For him, every day should feel like the first day of a new business full of energy and new ideas. Amazon is famous for coming up with new ideas and innovations that made shopping easier, faster, and more exciting for people all over the world. Let's take a closer look at some of these innovations, including the famous Buy Now with One Click feature. This was one of Amazon's most brilliant inventions. This feature was a huge change in the way people shopped online. Before Amazon created it, buying things on the internet took some time. You had to add an item to your digital shopping cart, then you had to fill in your credit card information and your address, and then you had to wait for the payment to process. It was a bit of a hassle. But with one click, everything changed. It was all about simplicity. With one click, shoppers didn't need to go through all of those steps. All you needed to do was click a single button, and your order was placed instantly. It was as simple as pressing a button on your computer or your phone. This feature made shopping much faster. There was no more filling out long forms or entering your payment information again and again. It saved people time and made online shopping incredibly convenient. Because it was so easy, people started to buy more things. Amazon sales grew faster than ever before. This idea was so successful that it quickly became a standard in the world of online shopping, and many other companies began to copy it. The reason it was so successful was that it made shopping easier for customers. And people love things that make their lives easier. One click solved a big problem, long, complicated checkout processes. It created a new way to shop. Before one-click, shopping online felt like a task. After one click, it felt more like a fun and easy experience. It was fast, and it didn't require much effort. This, of course, made Amazon even more successful. And it put Amazon a step ahead of its competitors. Other companies were still using the old, slow shopping methods. One click gave Amazon a huge advantage and helped to build strong customer loyalty. But Jeff Bezos and Amazon didn't stop at one click. They continued to introduce many other innovative features and services that would change the way people shop and live. We already talked about how Amazon Prime allowed customers to get free 2-day shipping, but it didn't stop there. Over time, Amazon added more and more benefits to the Prime membership. Members got access to movies, TV shows, music, and even exclusive deals. This became one of the most successful membership programs ever created, and it helped Amazon keep its customers happy and always coming back for more. Then in 2014, Amazon introduced Alexa, a voice-controlled assistant, with the Amazon Echo device. Alexa could play music, set timers, answer questions, and even control smart home devices. It felt like something from the future. Part 5. The Legacy of Jeff Bezos. Changing the world forever. Now we have reached the final part of our story about Jeff Bezos' incredible journey. When we talk about a person's legacy, we mean the lasting impact that they have on the world. And Jeff Bezos has created a legacy that will likely never be forgotten. Through Amazon, he didn't just make online shopping easier, he completely transformed the entire world of business. Before Jeff, businesses were often focused on selling products and making money quickly. But Jeff's thinking was different. Even though Jeff stepped down as the CEO of Amazon in 2021, his vision and his ideas continue to shape Amazon and the world of business. He built a company that became a global leader, not just in retail, but also in technology, cloud computing, and even space exploration. The way Jeff thinks about business and the future will continue to influence entrepreneurs and companies for many generations to come. And even after all of his incredible success with Amazon, Jeff Bezos is not done. He has turned his attention to new, exciting projects that could change the world once again. One of the most ambitious things Jeff has focused on is space exploration. In the year 2000, long before many people realized how important space travel could be, Jeff Bezos founded Blue Origin. This is a company dedicated to making space travel more affordable and more accessible for everyone. Blue Origin's goal is to one day send many people into space, create space colonies, and even reduce pollution here on Earth by moving heavy industries into space. To show this was possible in 2021, Jeff Bezos himself flew into space on Blue Origin's New Shepard rocket. This historic flight was a big step toward making space travel something that more people can do in the future. Jeff has big dreams for space. He believes that in the future, humanity will live and work in space and use our home planet Earth as a place to protect and restore. The idea of living in space might seem like something from a science fiction movie, but Jeff's work with Blue Origin is bringing that dream a little closer to reality. In 2020, Jeff Bezos also announced the creation of the Bezos Earth Fund. This is an organization dedicated to helping fight climate change and protect the environment. He committed to giving $10 billion to the fund, with the goal of supporting scientists, activists, and organizations that are working hard to reduce carbon emissions and protect the Earth for future generations. Jeff Bezos' story is a powerful example of what is possible when you believe in your vision, when you take risks, and when you never, ever give up. He has shown us that anything is possible if you are willing to work hard and to think big. Amazon is more than just a company. It's a reflection of Jeff's visionary mindset, his innovative ideas, and his ability to make bold decisions. But beyond his amazing business success, Jeff has inspired countless people to think differently, to pursue their own dreams, and to never settle for what is easy. His work in space exploration, his efforts to fight climate change, and his focus on giving back are just the beginning of a new chapter in his life. At the end of the day, Jeff Bezos is not just a businessman. He is a visionary. His future is still wide open, and who knows what new ideas he will come up with next. Of course, Jeff Bezos' personal life is also just as interesting as his business journey. He was married to Mackenzie Scott, a novelist, for 25 years. They met when they both worked at a financial firm in New York. Together, they had 4 children. Their marriage was a big part of his life until they decided to divorce in 2019. Despite the split, they remained on good terms, and Mackenzie Scott became one of the world's most generous philanthropists, giving away billions of dollars to charity. After his divorce, Jeff started a relationship with Lauren Sanchez, a former TV anchor and helicopter pilot. Their relationship became public in 2019, and they have been together ever since. Throughout his incredibly busy life, Jeff has tried to balance his work with time spent with his family. He loves spending time with his children and enjoys doing normal things like going to the beach or hiking with them. His family has always been an important part of his journey, supporting him as he built Amazon from the ground up. This mix of personal relationships and professional drive shows that even though Jeff is one of the richest people in the world, he values love, family, and making human connections just as much as business success. His net worth has surpassed $170 billion, a number that is hard to even imagine. But his success did not happen overnight. It was built through years of hard work, bold decisions, and never giving up. Jeff's journey is a perfect reminder that success is not just about money or fame. It's about having a vision, being determined, and having a willingness to take risks. Every successful person, whether it's Jeff Bezos or someone else, started with a dream. And that dream didn't come true while staying comfortable. It came true because they dared to step into the unknown. They faced challenges head-on, and they kept moving forward no matter how tough things got. If you want to succeed in your life, you need to believe in yourself first. Jeff Bezos believed that online shopping could be huge, even when almost everyone else thought it was a crazy idea. He started Amazon with just a vision and a powerful determination to make it work. That is what you need too. No matter how big your dream is, believe in it. Start small. Take one step at a time and never ever stop. If you are thinking about starting your own business, take some inspiration from Jeff Bezos. The journey will not be easy, but it will be worth it. Begin with a clear idea. Something that solves a problem or makes life better for other people. Focus on your customers. Be willing to work long hours and learn something new every single day. Be ready to fail, but never let failure stop you. Each failure is simply a step toward your success, just like Jeff experienced in his early Amazon days. Take risks. Learn from them and never stop dreaming. Bezos took a massive risk by leaving his secure job on Wall Street to start Amazon. That is the kind of risk that successful people take. They know that the greatest rewards often come from the biggest challenges. And please remember, it's not just about the destination. It's also about the journey. Keep learning, keep improving, and keep growing. Every mistake, every setback is a lesson in disguise. Embrace each one and keep moving forward with confidence and with passion. As Jeff Bezos has shown us, the future is full of amazing possibilities. He is now focused on space travel, on climate change, and on helping those in need, showing that even the wealthiest people have the power to change the world for the better. And so do you. No matter where you are in your life or what challenges you face, you have the power inside you to shape your own future. Your journey to success can begin today. And just like Jeff Bezos, you can create something amazing. Conclusion to leave dream achieve. So to everyone out there who is listening, to everyone who wants to be successful, please remember that your dreams are within your reach. Like Jeff Bezos, you can turn a simple idea into a reality. Your passion and your hard work are the keys to your success. Keep pushing forward, take risks, and never give up. Success will not be easy, but it will be worth it. The world is full of opportunities, and you are ready to seize them. The journey to your success starts right now, so believe in yourself. Dream big and take action. The future is waiting for you, and just like Jeff, you have the potential to make an unforgettable impact. Let this story be your inspiration to start now, to start today. Keep moving forward, and one day you will look back and see just how far you have come. The world is yours for the taking.